Hello guys, how's it going? How are you doing? I'm just gonna double check that my whole audio is working properly. I'm just gonna double check that my whole audio is working properly. I'm just gonna double check that my Okay, I think it's good. My whole and now okay. Welcome guys and girls or girls and guys. Now, as you realize, we're making this associate engineer for developers track, which is taking several courses, and we finished the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and two projects. We finished 6 courses and 2 projects, and now we're gonna go and do our third project. And this is gonna be a topic analysis of cloning reviews with embeddings. It's cool. So let's go right into it. Okay. In this competitive world of e-commerce, understanding customer feedback is a vital for business success. This project focuses on analyzing reviews from women's clothing e-commerce reviews dataset. The challenge is to process and analyze text data, categorize feedback into terms, and perform semantic similarity searches to gain deeper understanding on customer sentiments. The project will provide valuable skills in data processing, natural language understanding, and leveraging AI for practical business applications. Okay, that's good. Each time Each time there is less and less participants. Now there is 5,189. Says welcome to the world of creating and store embeddings. Embed the reviews using suitable text embedding algorithm and store them in a list variable embeddings. Dimensionality reduction and visualization. Apply the proper dimensionality reduction technique to reduce embeddings to a two-dimensional numpy array and store this array in a variable embeddings 2D. Then use this variable to plot a 2D visual representation of the reviews. Use your embeddings to identify some reviews that discuss topics such as quality, fit, style, and comfort. Find the outputs that find a function that outputs the closest 3 reviews to a given input review, enabling a personalized customer service response. Apply this to the first review and store the output as a list in the most similar reviews. Alright. So you have this CSV, which is review text and description. So here is installing this, the ChromaDB, the SQLite. Okay, so here's the whole import. So now here we're using ChromaDB. That's super nice. So technically we're gonna use now the okay. We read, and here is the CSV table, which is index, review, clothing, age, title, review text. Start coding here. Okay. There is no any function predefined other than the import of the libraries. So I guess that what we need to do first is to embed the giving input review. Okay, the only thing that I don't know if if in the review. Yeah, I think I should put everything. I should put the age, title, review text, rating, recommend. What is this recommended int? Positive feedback count, division name, department name, class name. Mm, yeah, I think we can add this into the ChromaDB. Each one of the, well, the clothing ID is here. We can add this the the text. Wait 1 second. I want to check if here I add docs to the DB. I add the title and the description. Uh, yeah, but here I'm putting basically everything. Mm, so I guess that because there is not any more rules to the three closest reviews, maybe I don't need to put metadata so far. Uh, so I guess so far first we need to put this into the database first and check the embeddings. Here I have the reviews, which is the Panda reader, and then we need to do so I need to do here insert reviews into DB. Yeah, and here I got here I'm reading the data frame, and here similar, so I can do this in here, but instead of here I do the adding docs from the DB. So I should have here too, which is going to be the IDs and the documents, and here I need to IDs append, which is gonna be the row, and the row is clothing ID. And then for the text, we're gonna create an f function, f string, and then here I'm gonna put yeah, title. This is gonna be title. And then we're going to have a let's keep it simple for the moment. Let's just do this review. Review text. And here it is going to be this review text. And then I'll do documents append text. So here I'm creating the text for the, I'm putting the ID, which is the clothing ID, and I'm putting the text, which is gonna be the review. We can add more parameters, but so far I think we're just gonna put this. Then sort of what we need to do is call a collection, create connection, and this is gonna be not Netflix because this is from the previous project, but this is gonna be store reviews. And because of the fact that this create collection was coming from our Chroma client, then it should come from here. And yeah, and this I'm gonna move one cell here because I don't want to import this like console out of sync. How come? Okay, no, before something gets deleted from here, I'm just going to create a here, and this is gonna be the project clothing raw beddings. Yeah, and then touch. Let me see how the other project was done. Just like that. this will be touch clothing reviews.py, and then we can finally go to these projects, clothing reviews.py, and it's gonna copy this because I was afraid that if I reload this page it's gonna be out of sync, so I don't want to do that, so I'll just reload this. Okay, yeah, we are here. And what we're trying to do here is the copy this chroma client from here. So we're trying to do this. And this is gonna create the collection. And I assume that so here's doing all of the imports. I guess that the OpenAI embedding function is not being imported, so I'm also going to import it here. Because the ChromaDB was already imported, so that's good. Then I'm just gonna run this to make sure that it name ChromaDB is not defined. Okay, first I need to run this, I think, because it wasn't run. Because here I'm already importing the ChromaDB. Okay, it did that. Then in here I'm gonna so it's run. Then here so it's good. And then in here I'm going to create the collection and add those for each of the but here this is not called data frame, this is called reviews. Yeah, and here I'm gonna run it. So what is wrong with the f string here? So it should be f title. What do you mean unmatched? Fixing. Okay, let's run this fix and explain. Aha, so it should be single quotes. Okay. Okay, that's good. So then if I run it, it should be good again. Create collection, store reviews. Add the API key. Here. It's not defined because I need to use their own placeholder. I think in the previous exercises, no, here, in the resources. Here I'm just gonna go into one of the previous projects in which I define in which I define the API key, because I'm just gonna use basically the same here, because maybe it's gonna use the same placeholder there. So yeah, if I run this, now it's gonna use this. Then I will reject this. Then in here, I will run this. Expected ID to be string. So I guess I will just convert this to a string. Okay. Duplicate values for clothing. Aha. So it shouldn't be clothing ID, it should be index. Sorry. No, I shouldn't accept this. I should reject this, and then here I shouldn't put the clothing ID. I should put the the review ID, and this is unique because the clothing ID can be repeated. Doing an authorized. Aha. So in this project, I really need to put my OpenAI API key. Mm, I don't know if I want to do that. Okay, but as far as I know, as far as I see, this one works good until here. And then apply an appropriate dimensionality reduction technique to reduce the embeddings to a two-dimensional numpy array. So here I put it already on the collection. Here I create the collection and everything. Then embed the reviews instead of embedding. But for this dimensionality reduction, I don't know if we can do it in ChromaDB, because in this case, what we will need to do is here. What we can do is this: create collection. And then in here we can mm, I have to put read this, move this CSV file into this folder. So I can run this. And in this case, then I will be able to also do this. And I'll do this. And then I'll be able to run this locally. Yeah, the only issue there was that basically I have unauthorized access, because I need to put my token there, but I don't want to put it. Let's see what it does. Yes. And I need to move this Chroma client to here, otherwise I will not be able to run this create collection or get collection. So if I do here the Python and then not the chroma client but the clothing reviews, then I'm gonna do print collection that 5 is gonna give me the 5 last elements. Alright, sorry, here I need to put the single quote. And now it should run good. df is also not, and it's because here's reviews, and we save and we run it again. And here it's not clothing ID, it was somewhere here, it was review ID. And then it should be okay because the review ID is unique. ID to be string, so I assume that because the review IDs are numbers, I need to convert this to string. So I should do str like this and like this. Nice. And it gave me the first five rows of the DB and its embeddings. So now dimensionality reduction technique to reduce the so I should create these embeddings to D and do the dimensionality reduction. So basically here, this is something we did here. Visualizing embeddings. So this is somewhere. So now it's asking us to do okay, so let's copy all of this. And this is gonna do the thing that we require. Just going to to the, wait, let me reduce this screen because we don't need this too much. So now this, in the product descriptions, in our case, it was the documents. For it, for each review. So here I'm embedding extract the embeddings from response dict and storing in product. But the thing here is that in the embeddings product description, the products was a list of dictionaries. And then in visualizing the embeddings, I was converting this into in pi array of embeddings. So here I'm just transforming the embeddings into the embeddings into D, and then I'm doing the wait, here what I was doing. Let me think for 1 second. Here I'm creating the response dictionary, and then, and not in here, but in here, this stuff, it's just a list of embeddings. So in my case, I should just do the same as here, I assume. Because I want to do the same with categories and embeddings. So in my case, I should do this. I should have this. this is just gonna be a list of embeddings. So basically here, instead of having the categories, I'm going to have the categories is equals to append. Here I'm gonna wait, category is gonna be a list, and embeddings is also going to be a list. Okay, then I need to iterate per each review, and then yeah, in the categories I'm gonna append, in this case is going to be not the review ID, I was already appending the documents. So in the categories I'm not gonna append the review ID, but it's going to be the here's the the department class name. 25 topics such as quality, fit, style, and comfort. Okay, but first I'm gonna plot this. So here I don't need to do these categories. I don't need to append the IDs. I don't need to do this. So I just need to do these embeddings. And this is going to be the embeddings append. Right. It's gonna be the embeddings append response dict, which is gonna be the embeddings that data. So here I will need the IDX. No, I don't need all of this. Then I'm gonna transform this array, which is like for each one of the rows contains 1500 something. So I'll create this into 2D. Then I'll scatter the, and in my case, I don't need to annotate because I haven't categorized them yet. So if I do this, I think I can already, yeah, so far here I inserted into the DB. Here's here I am dimensionality reduction and visualization. Because here I already had the documents. Um, yeah, so I will do Python clothing reviews. Name client. Uh, so here also I need to, in this create embeddings, I'll just copy this here, and then I'll import this from here. This will be import from create embedding, import create embedding, and then in here I will, instead of calling this, I will just call this. Then here, before doing this, no, it's okay, it's okay. Then I will replace it. Oh no, wait 1 second. To the DV. Then in the next one, I'm going to do this Python, and in here I'm gonna copy all of this, but in my case, because client wasn't defined, or it was, no, so then we need to go to one of the first, to the previous course, and check how did we call the client. This was in embeddings, and this is going to be in this chapter, I think, and this is going to be here, creating embeddings. So yeah, so we do that here. Wait, okay, 1 second. Okay, here I do here client OpenAI token, client embeddings create. I got the input. I guess that the OpenAI, it's already defined there, so I don't need to do nothing else. Then in my case, because of the fact that I already have this defined into the create embeddings, I'm gonna do from create embeddings, import create embeddings. Then I'm going to, this create embeddings already does the whole response done for data. from OpenAI client. From OpenAI client, import client. But where is this? Where am I? Because I think here I also have this. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this here. In here, import client. Then from OpenAI import client, I'm gonna do this in the clothing reviews. I'm gonna import it in the top. You know what? Let's not do this. Let's just do this, just to simplify our lives. And then we just have this simpler, so we don't use this. So we just have this from opening client, import client. Then in the client we pass the documents that previously we just it's a list of texts. Then data the index, we append the embeddings, and this should be good. And now if we do Python closing reviews, at the end we should have a scatter plot of all of the reviews. But it's just gonna be like dots, and it's not gonna be really useful because then TSNE is not defined. We need to find it here. Finding folder TSNE. Now we need to do all of these imports. Sorry, one second. Into this one because that was missing. I was missing, I think, PLT that show. Otherwise it wouldn't show. Yeah, that is why it wasn't showing. So it is showing the 5 reviews there. Which is pretty interesting. Here should do the PLT show. So it did show 5 of our reviews, because I think here in the we have 5. Yeah, that's correct. But then it's kind of, it doesn't really tell us too much, because we need to put cat in this. For example, probably in this here too, we will have 2 similar feedback categories, here 2 similar and 1 different. But in order to actually see that, for example, we can run this here. OpenAI is not defined. So how to fix and explain this? I need to import this. From OpenAI, import OpenAI. Yep, that's correct. And authorize the same, which because I need to put the token there, but I don't want to really put it. So apply an appropriate dimensionality reduction technique to embeddings. Okay, then use the embeddings to identify some reviews that discuss topics such as quality, fit, style, and comfort. So about this one, I think maybe we have some example here in which maybe in here what I need to do is possibly acquire from the DB that is going to be maybe in our case it should be something about reviews of quality. Okay, so maybe we can do this. Or maybe I'll ask this. How can I use my embeddings and then I'm gonna put this file, which is the clothing reviews. Oh, which pass did I pass? Oh yeah. Here's better gonna explain me, because I have one idea to make the queries, but now that I need to classify them, I don't know what exactly should I do. Maybe I should send them all into the OpenAI API and just perform a classification. Please first make a plan. Tell me what you want to do. I know it's gonna do the spatial and it's gonna find the distances, but what I want to do is what does it make, because there can be the same distance to one category to another category, but I don't know what is the borderline. So let me read this from here. Print the top 3 reviews per topic. Mm-hmm. So I will need to iterate, which is what is each review mainly about. So I will need to iterate per each review, and then I will need to find the distance per each. The distance per each topic. I want the approach B. So I want the approach B. So I want to. So K is gonna do this. Then in the next one, I'm gonna get the topics, client embeddings, create topics for data embedding. Wait. Label each review with the topic whose embedding is the closest one. For topic embedding in topic, distance cosine, closest topic is the topics, and P arc mean from the distances. So in the so I understand here that is iterating over each topic embedding, and then is calculating the distance cosine, and here you have the distances, and here you get the, I assume that this gets the index, and then you get the closest topic. What I don't really understand here is, okay, here I'm getting the embeddings, I know that. So this I got. Here in the documents, I have each document. Here is just a string, and in the embeddings are the it's list of embeddings that were already in the yeah. So here we have both already defined. It's just like I'm zipping and I'm iterating over each of them. So technically, if I okay now with this, so with this we already got the with this we already have this part, which is the feedback categorization. And then this reference level the closest three reviews taking input enabling a more personalized customer service response. So in this other code, which is gonna be Python, here what I'm gonna do is write a function that outputs the closest three reviews. So in this one I should make just a query from DB and just do I'm gonna define closest three reviews, and this is gonna be text query text, and in here I'm gonna do here we're doing it with ChromaDB. So I should do this. Here I should put the query text. Number of results is 3. Then the collection is the collection that I already defined on the top, I think, when I define the ChromaDB. Yeah. So this should be alright when I get the 3 closest. But when I do this, yeah, the collection of reference text. And then I should do the closest third review. As this should be most similar reviews, should be and this is gonna be my input text to that function. and then I should just run it from here. I think in my case what I should do here is create another one, get, it's gonna get closest reviews, and in here I'm gonna pass this text, and then I'm gonna print these most similar reviews. And it's quite easier because here I don't need to plot nothing, but as far as I assume, absolutely wonderful is silky and sexy comfortable. So I should definitely get this one, and then I'm gonna run it. Okay, I'm gonna omit in this case the plt show because I don't, this will interrupt my code, and then I'll run it again, and then at the end I should see the 3 most similar reviews, but I guess that the first is gonna be exactly this first one. Also in here, list, yeah, okay, I'm gonna submit it to see what does it does. I think in this data camp, the wait, I'm gonna do, because I didn't properly see where is the print, printing similar 3 reviews. Here's 1, here's 2. Where am I printing? I'm not gonna print this to, because I think I categorized per each one here. So I did until here with the closest topic and the document, but I didn't do this probably because I didn't save it. Let's just run it again. So it got printing none. Why when I execute this code, At the end, I got this log. Because I didn't return nothing. Jesus. Return result. And that's why. So here also I need to do the return statement because otherwise I wouldn't get nothing. Sources. Guides. Okay, how the product. Yeah. Find distance between the embeddings. Find similar reviews. Yeah. Yes, this is all what I did. But no. Okay. Uh, maybe I'll put the token there then, but I will do it offline, okay, guys, because I don't want you to see my token. But this is really weird because normally we were using the token like this. I don't know why it's asking me to do it in other way. But as you saw here, it works. It's good. Now in my yes, that's perfect. So first it recommended here the silky and sexy and comfortable, which is basically the same. So that's just what I was, but it's the same as this review. So it's what I was expecting. So all right, we finished the project. I'll push this code into GitHub. Maybe I'll decorate it a bit more so it's more understandable and you can follow up more. And yeah, I think thank you very much guys for this. We finished this project. I'll just try to run it in my own with my own API key, and I cannot of course stream that. And yeah, see you probably today in the night or tomorrow, so because we need to continue with the next course, which is going to be our next course is going to be, give me 1 second. uh 1 second. There's gonna be building applications with Pinecone, which is a hosted database, vector database. So we only have 3 courses left. So thank you guys very much for it, and see you today or